Remember in the 90s and 2000s, when you'd go to the store, you'd buy a game, you'd come home, open it up, and you'd get more than just a disc. You'd get a postcard, maybe a poster, maybe some manuals. You get more than just the disc and a boring warranty card. Gaming used to be an experience from when you first got to the store, which lasted all the way until beyond finishing the game. For context, let's look at games now, which are doing it completely wrong. Dead Rising 4 from 2016. You open it up, yes, you have the game there, but you just get a whole bunch of boring paperwork. And now, let's look back at how it used to be. Let's look at what came with Liberty City Stories back in 2006. Opening the case up, you can see we've got the game, but we've got a few extras. You can see the manual was designed in a way that made it look like a newspaper. It was more than just a manual. It was a piece of memorabilia that fans could keep for a very long time. Opening it up, it's designed just like a newspaper. You have a table of contents with today's weather, market watch, and a few headlines. You have the Get Start guide, the controls, and then you have a few news articles based on the game. And the second most well-known item that Rockstar Games and many other companies of this time used to put in their game cases were posters. Posters like these. Opening this up, you can see that on one end you have the map of the city, and then on the other end you have one of the main antagonists of the game. I remember having all my Grand Theft Auto posters up when I was a child. Now this is a throwback. What this is a whole bunch of pages that I used to use when I was 4, 5, 6 years old, and I used to write down save codes. In 2025, we're so used to games auto-saving and saving every 2 seconds. But back then, there were no cloud saves, no automatic saves, and you had to do something like this. This Game Boy was my first ever handheld. And this game, Simpsons Road Rage, was my favorite game of the time. This stack of codes was for that. Here are a few of my save codes. So as we can see in the first one, we've got Homer, Otto, Marge, Wiggum, Mr. Burns, Wiggum, and Grandpa. Excuse the poor spelling. So this would be after finishing a certain mission. You put this code in next time you go in. As you can see, save codes were always unique, memorable, and interesting. You can see with this game, they were character based. So instead of putting a bunch of numbers in for your save level, you could put the characters. As you can tell, these codes were fun, interesting, different, and memorable. That's why I've kept them as memorabilia for the last 25 years. Cheat codes and cheat manuals. The thrill of turning your game upside down. Anyone who ever played an open world game like Saints Row or GTA back in the 2000s definitely had a big fat book full of cheat codes. Whether you convinced your parents to buy you the cheat code book from EB Games, or you passed around notes at school like notepads full of up, up, circle, circle, R1, R2, and you get a jetpack, we've all done it. Here are some images I've sourced online from forums of other people's experiences. As you can see, it's a shared experience that we've all experienced and doesn't exist anymore. I actually feel sorry for this new generation of gamers that never got to experience this. Nothing beats bringing your friends or your cousins over, loading up a game on the PS2, putting in a code, and shocking them when they see people falling from the sky and cars suddenly flying. Compare this to nowadays where cheats are patched out or they're given to you as microtransactions. It's an absolute joke. Then there were demo discs or free trials linked with things like the newspaper or fast food chains like Pizza Hut. Before digital downloads, how did we used to trial our games? Well, we used to do them through things like demo discs. These, for example, I got these with our local newspaper. You go, you buy the newspaper, you get given a villains or a heroes pack, you put that into your PC and you get to play one level. I know Sony used to give free trials or demo discs with their PlayStation magazines. Similarly, PC Gamer did the same thing as well. Unfortunately, now it's all closed beta or instant downloads. Boring, not memorable, and you can't collect anything. To round off the video, remember when you'd go to the local Blockbuster and you'd actually rent your game? I just remember as a kid, the rush to go to the local Blockbuster and rent out a game before the shelves were empty. This game, Bugs Life on the PS1, I remember going there when I was a child with my mum and picking this up off the shelf. I rented this game 3 weeks in a row until we finally decided to purchase it for ourselves. I just remember the trauma of going to a Blockbuster and finding an empty shelf of a game that you wanted to try. In contrast, digital storefronts now mean that you get games instantaneously, places like Blockbuster don't exist, and there's just no nostalgia. But this takes away from the excitement of going into the store, picking the game that you want, trialing it, and seeing if you want to buy it for yourself. It's crazy how much these things have changed. Now, they're all relics of the past, and we just have these things to hold on to remember. Let me know if any of these brought up any nostalgia in you.